You were all my heart knew, that's all I held on to, but you let go.
Yes, you guys heard it here first. An MMORPG averaging about 200,000 concurrent players logged in at its peak, likely still averaging over 1 million players logging in per day, is dead. By that logic, how can we ever expect to have a successful MMO? By that very definition, what even qualifies as a successful MMO? You know what, regardless, I have avoided, for the most part, doing videos on all of the New World drama going around recently. There are other content creators out there that have done a far better job at detailing the almost endless number of issues the game has had over the last month as they have arisen. But I continue to get messaged repeatedly asking what my thoughts are on all of it, asking why I'm not dedicating time and covering it as well. And you know what? That is a good question. The more people discussing it, the more attention that we bring to it, the better, right? You know what else needs attention? That subscribe button, which you totally should have clicked, especially if you're interested in remaining up to date with the latest MMO news, announcements, guides, and test phases. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to board the New World hate train that so many players seem to be on, attempting to bring the game down. No, on the contrary, I am going to objectively discuss every issue that I have been made aware of over the course of the last month, 30 days. That way, we can see what has been plaguing the game, we can see what steps Amazon have made to remedy the issues running rampant, and we can make certain that players know exactly what's going on out there. Let's start this off with one of the first bugs I noticed while browsing online. On October 15th, it was reported that players were abusing an exploit to allow for them to become completely invulnerable in combat. I covered this and included the video used as reference. This involved playing in windowed mode and required players drag the game window at a certain moment, which put you in a temporary state of suspended animation, preventing you from accumulating or taking any additional damage. There was a small hotfix to this introduced that caused you to crash if you attempted to drag the window while in windowed mode, but by October 28th, a full update was rolled out to address not only this, but several other issues. Yeah, players were left abusing this for almost 2 weeks straight. On October 28th, it was reported that players weren't receiving gold after their auctions ended while offline. This is a bug that affected the entire community, not just cheaters in PvP. In essence, if you were offline at the moment that your auction had ended, you wouldn't receive the gold. It wouldn't matter if you had just logged out or you were in the process of relogging. You'll receive a notification that your items were in fact sold, but you will be refused the funds directly from that sale. On October 30th, Amazon reported that they had rolled out a hotfix in an attempt to remedy that issue. While many players had reported that they were successfully receiving their gold once again, there were still a number of players that reported the opposite continued even after that fix. November will likely go down as the month of dupes, with a bug that allowed players to duplicate gold being brought to players' attention on the first of the month. How you triggered this dupe was to engage another player in a trade, click, hold, and then drag the window around while confirming the trade, have the other player cancel the trade while you're doing this, after which their trade would be canceled, they would keep their gold, yet you would receive the gold that they were attempting to trade you as well. Players were absolutely livid, and they had every right to be when learning of this, with many people asking for Amazon to actually do a rollback because this was unfair and this needed to be fixed as soon as possible. I mean, a game is only as successful as its in-game economy. If everyone has limitless amounts of gold, then money has no purpose. In an effort to stall players from abusing the duplication exploit further, Amazon disabled trading between players. This was a good move in theory, as it would have temporarily halted any additional gold from being duplicated and subsequently injected into the community. However, upon disabling trading, they created created something just as bad, another duplication bug. This time, if you attempted to trigger any type of town upgrade, like a kitchen as an example here, you would be charged a set amount of gold to upgrade it. However, it wasn't functioning as it should have been and instead results in an error message. If you reconnected to the game, not only would you be refunded the canceled upgrade, but you would have the cost of the upgrade added to your company wallet as well. Then there was another exploit concerning the storage shed, where if you took an item from one storage shed and transferred it to another, and then you reconnected during that transfer, not only would you possess the item in your original storage shed, but you would also possess it in the storage shed where you were attempting to move it to. So, 2 items in total. 2 weeks later, a week ago from today on November 13th, a new duping exploit was confirmed. While Amazon had banned a portion of the abusers responsible for duping in the past, there were many left without punishment. Many who never suffered repercussions for their actions. This new exploit was posted about on the official forums and even had dedicated video footage showing how to go about reproducing it. According to players in that thread, it was a dupe method that had worked in the past, resurfacing all over again. Amazon quickly responded to this, and once again they went about disabling all types of wealth transfer a day later, preventing players from once again trading amongst one another, something they did earlier this month in an attempt to prevent players from further damaging the economy. Then 4 days ago on November 17th, there was a new thread created on the New World subreddit detailing 7 new exploits running rampant on the live version of the game after Amazon restored the ability to trade with one another. Yes, a grand total of 7. It is genuinely difficult to even imagine that being possible. First, there was the trade dupe, which is achieved merely by trading items with other players. Second, the crafting dupe, which is achieved by attempting to craft an item and forcing the game to cancel it, not only refunding but also duplicating the materials used. Third, the bound item exploit, which is achieved by selling bound items on the trading post if you first place them into your storage. Fourth, the recipe dupe, which is achieved by salvaging a recipe while in combat. If you allow for yourself to die, the recipe will be restored within your inventory after respawning. Fifth, the gold dupe, which is achieved by trading gold to another player while in the outpost rush. Both you and the other player will retain the gold traded or attempted to be traded. Sixth, the outpost rush food buff, which is achieved by using a food item while participating in the outpost rush, logging out after you receive said buff applied, then logging back in. What this does is provide the food buff to you indefinitely and stacks without limit. Seventh, the furniture dupe, which is achieved by allowing your housing to expire. It adds the entire content of your home to your storage, you then pay tax, and then your home keeps the original furnishings. And those are only 7 that players were aware of at the time of posting a few days ago. And then finally, the most recent exploit, the ability to reset your influence to 0. According to players on Reddit, companies that own territories are capable of changing their company name to reset their influence. Yeah. Now, I'm not listing these exploits here so players can go out of their way to abuse them. I'm posting these here so players are aware that they exist, so Amazon know that they exist, so something can be done about them. New World could have been an amazing MMORPG, and I'm not saying it's not, it's a lot of fun. There's plenty to do in the game, but how poorly this game has been handled is absolutely laughable. It has become a meme online. Amazon Game Studios has become a massive meme online. Players that were excited for Lost Ark are now cautious, even given the fact that Smilegate are still in charge of development and Amazon are only there as the official publisher in the West. Sure, concurrent player numbers are down. That's partly due to the fact that so many players are just fed up with all of the issues that seem to arise almost daily, but also due to things as basic as burnout and running out of things to do. It happens to every MMO, it happens to every game. New World is not anything special, it's no exception to this rule. Now, at the end of the day, Amazon have a very long way to go before New World is capable of giving any of the large MMORPGs any type of long-term competition. But you know what? At the end of the day, I have faith that they can still turn this around. Well, maybe.
Someday soon, I'm gonna make it. Yeah.